Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your evening news recap. Hope all of you guys had a wonderful day so far. Mine's been all right. Haven't done much. Went to school, did all the other stuff. Played some Marvel Rivals. Been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. It's a pretty fun game. Yeah. For tonight's news recap, we have three segments. We have the Trump administration segment, as always, with a few topics. We have an Elon Musk segment with one topic. That's kind of a mix of two topics. And then we have another news segment with a couple of topics as well. With that being said, let's get started. Trump signs an executive order to restore, quote, truth and sanity to American history. That is not the case. On Thursday, Trump signed an executive order directing J.D. Vance to eliminate divisive race centered ideology from Smithsonian museums, educational research centers, along with the National Zoo. The order, titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, states once widely respected as as a symbol of American excellence and global icon of cultural achievement, the Smithsonian Institution in recent years has come under influence of divisive race-centered ideology. This shift promoted narratives that portray American and Western values as inherently harmful and oppressive. It would go on to say museums in our nation's capital should be places where individuals learn, not be subjected to ideological indoctrination or divisive narratives that distort our shared history. The order calls for the removal of exhibits and programs that, quote, degrade American values, divide Americans based on race, or promote programs and ideologies inconsistent with federal law and policy. It requests a future appropriations that celebrates the achievements. It requests the future appropriations celebrate the achievements of women and women in the American Women's History Museum and not recognize men as women in any respect in the museum. The order blames Biden for advancing the corrosive ideology and includes additional provisions to reinstate public monuments or memorials and statues that were removed or changed to perpetuate a false reconstruction of American history and appropriately minimize the values of certain historical events, figures, or include any other improper partisan ideology. My statement is something else, and I'll read that off in a bit, but there's a few things that I'd like to say, just to you guys who watch the video. I know the glare is really bad. I wish I could fix that. I'm going to try and fix it with my... Okay. We're just going to have to, live with it a little bit. That doesn't help. We're going to live with it. Okay, so Trump says that he wants to rebuild American history in a sense, and not allow things to be indoctrinated or whatever. So let's talk about a few instances where Trump has not been beneficial towards American history. One common example has been with 9/11 heroes. A lot of 9/11 heroes have had medical access taken away from them. Not only that, but Trump on multiple occasions seems to have forgotten, you know, the holiday of 9/11 and how we're not supposed to forget it, never forget, because, he doesn't treat the heroes of that national tragedy very well. I mean, he restricted and pulled funding for them to get services they need. There was something else yesterday, and I'm blinking on it, but I remember talking about it. But there's a whole list of things at this point that just prove that Trump is not recognizing American history. Not to mention the fact that he had to throw in a jab against trans women and Joe Biden at the same time in one executive order is very infuriating. We can't keep Joe Biden's name out of his mouth, and he can't keep trans women out of his mouth either, which is a little. Well, I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't know how to word that right, so I'm just not gonna say that. Anyways, um, there are multiple instances where Trump is in no way beneficial to American history. Same with the education department. Oh my god, that is just off the top of my head too. He wants to tear down the entire education department. How does that benefit American history? You are impacting the teachers and the students who are learning about American history, but taking down the education department is a good thing? What a time. What a time. What a time. Now I gotta unlock my phone again. Okay. Um, Here's the statement I wrote about this. Let's be real. This isn't in order to restore truth and sanity to American history. This is the first step in taking control of American history. Historians have said from the start that we should be worried about him coming for history, and this is blatant proof of it. Save every book, every paper, every scrap. We cannot forget the past because he who forgets the past is doomed to repeat it himself. Great quote. I've heard that from so many people, and I probably could have just looked it up, but I don't know where it originates. Um, that's kind of unprofessional on my part. My bad. But Trump clearly does not know the quote if he wants to destroy the education department and essentially tear down American history, especially with the military. He took. Aha! I'm losing it. He took a bunch of stuff down off military and government websites, but you guys already know that. There is multiple examples of Trump being against American history, and it's insane. Oh, we're only 7 minutes in. Oh shit. I'm on one topic. My bad, guys. These last ones have been long. I hope you guys don't mind. Let me know if you guys do. I can try and cut them down, but I kind of like to have these somewhat longer just because I can kind of converse a little more and I don't seem like as much as a robot. You guys kind of see me as more of a person because, like I said yesterday, I want to be able to express like not just myself, but like who I am because I want to run for office and I don't want people to know like who I'm not, Um, running for state representative in 2030. That's what my pinned blue sky thing says. And I'm going to. But let's move on. Oh, okay. Trump takes the Alien Enemies Act to Supreme Court. The Trump administration on Friday asked the Supreme Court to wade into a legal battle over the Alien Enemies Act. Oops. Trump has failed to get Boasberg's ruling overturned on numerous occasions, and this is his final chance. Acting Solicitor General Sarah Harris told the Supreme Court, "This is a case presenting fundamental questions about who decides how to conduct sensitive and national security related operations in this country. If the president, through Article 2 or the injunction in judiciary, the Constitution supplies a clear answer: the president. The Republic cannot afford a different choice." 2 weeks ago now, the Trump administration flew more than 200 alleged gang members out of the U.S. to El Salvador against a court ruling. Due to Boasberg's ruling against the Trump administration, Trump has continuously called for the impeachment of Boasberg. This would prompt an unusual statement from Chief Justice John Roberts warning the Trump administration against impeaching judges because of their rulings. Dear God, I hope he loses this. I know the Supreme Court tends to lead more right, which is, I mean, whatever. But they have gone against Trump in the past on some occasions with some of his rulings, which I'd hope so. They're the Supreme Court, but we'll see how it goes. I really, 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 really hope that they don't allow it, but we'll see. We can have some faith because they've gone against Trump previously, but we're gonna have to hold our breath on this one, I think. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. A judge has ruled that Trump can't dismantle the CFPB. A federal judge agreed on Friday to block the Trump administration from dismantling the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. For those who don't know, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau works to protect United States citizens from losing a bunch of money. U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson agreed to an issue preliminary injunction that will keep the agency running. The judge said the court can and must act to save the agency from being shuttered. Um, Jackson ruled without a court order, President Trump's administration would move quickly to shut down the agency that Congress created during the 2008 financial crisis. She said if the defendants are not enjoined, that they will eliminate the agency before the court has the opportunity to decide whether the law permits them to do it, and if its defendants' own witness warned it would be harmed, its harm would be irreparable. This is great news to hear. The CFPB protects billions of dollars for Americans every year, and this is a huge step to making sure that remains. Although we hear a lot of bad news, this is some good news to hear, and we should celebrate this, as it's not too often we get to hear good news. Moving on to the Elon Musk segment, we have one topic here. Elon Musk said he'd give out $1 million checks, and he's getting sued because of it. Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Kaul filed a lawsuit to stop Elon Musk from paying people $1 million checks to vote for Republicans. Musk said in a tweet that he plans to, quote, personally hand over, end quote, $2 million to a pair of voters who have already casted their ballots in the race. Going on to say the clarification post that money will go to the people, in a clarification post, that the money will go to the people who will be spokesmen for an online petition against activist judges. Musk's Political Action Committee identified the recipient of the first $1 million giveaway as a Green Bay man who donated to the Wisconsin GOP and donated to the conservative candidate. Musk would then delete his original post 12 hours later and make his clarification post that it would only go to the people who are willing to work for the campaign or whatever. He also previously offered $100 to anyone signing a petition to vote Republican. Even if this is real and he's actually giving money, at the end of the day, it's just money propaganda. MAGA likes money. If they think they're going to get some money, they're going to vote for something, which is extremely illegal. Extremely. But that's why he's getting sued. I think it's crazy that he was still able to offer $100. I know back when that came out, I did say that it's crazy and he should be sued for it. So I'm glad he's being sued now. That's a great thing. Moving on to the other news segment. I just got a new notification that my laptop is